All right, guys. Welcome to Plain Underrated People, a talk show that we like to call the Pups. Today's show is going to be about a lot of fun, sad, new, awesome topics.
Skinny bitches. Let's get this started.
I agree, skinny bitches. So, obviously the three main hosts of this show, because we have not had any guests yet. We got Ben, me, Holden, and then Robert. So let's get this started. You guys want to start off talking about the bombs in Boston, or should we get a lighter topic first?
I think at this point we should just go straight into it, seeing as so much has happened in the past week.
A lot has happened. They caught both guys.
Caught one guy. Other guy was just
that's
yeah. The other guy they just blew into so many pieces.
Yeah, I mean
he's just painless.
I mean, there's no way you haven't heard about this by now. There's no way no one, like some person...
Unless you live under a fucking rock and you check, like, YouTube just for our videos, you've heard about this.
Yeah. So if no one knows what actually happened, like if you just heard, like, oh, he was caught, what happened was, so the police had been searching for this guy in Watertown, Massachusetts, for about all day of Friday, and they were just searching up and down for him, and they finally got this lead that he was under this boat, off of in this house that was off of like a lake or something, and this guy was just like hiding in this boat, which is just weird that he would even that's like the worst spot you could possibly pick, was to hide under like the tarp of a boat. And like I was watching the news this morning. Actually, I was just watching like about 30 minutes ago, like while eating lunch, and CNN had they had like a Predator drone up in the air, and it was focused on the boat, and they could in the Predator drone could actually like see through the tarp. So the entire time he's like, oh, I'm so fucking sneaky, while the FBI just like, man, we got you.
Yeah, he essentially got his shit rocked.
Well, yeah, but from what my understanding was, and I don't know if you guys heard this, and I don't know if any of you, the other people out there know this, the reason he was actually hiding in there, and the reason he didn't continue running further, is because during the shootout in which his brother was killed, he had actually been, critically wounded.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, so the reason,
so
supposedly
right now
that's the reason...
He's in the hospital in critical condition right now. And pretty much their main priority is to get here, you can keep going.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to go on to say. I'm pretty sure they induced or medically induced a coma so that his body could worry about recovering instead of trying to stay alive. So that's why they haven't gotten any answers from him, is because he's literally on the verge of death, and they don't want him to die at this point because they have him in custody, and it would be a damn shame if that happened, you know.
I really want to find out.
That's what I had heard. Also,
I really want to find out what his reasoning was. That's what I've been waiting for so long.
Yeah, because it's their number one priority is to get this man health and safety. Because I know it sounds weird. This man has injured over 200 people and killed 3 people, but their main priority has to get this man healthy and be able to question him, because we don't know if this is a standalone thing, if they were mercenaries for some guy, if they're part of a faction of some sort. And that's the top priority right now, is to figure out who the fuck these guys in Chechnya or Russia are, and why they would even do this. Because if you I read about these guys. They released his Twitter, and he is He made a video on Facebook. The brother that died actually made a video on Facebook where he was pretty much all for jihad, and he made this terrorist video about what he believes in. And so the older brother who actually died, if people do not know, he was a pretty well respected man, and his dream was to go into American boxing and become an American amateur. And he was actually trained to do this, and it was a passion of his. And the younger kid went to Cambridge Community College, and there were there were students being interviewed about him, and they were he's just a normal guy that smiled and would always be funny and always crack jokes in class. If you go to his Twitter isn't death to America. His Twitter is full of just normal stuff that these 19-year-old college kids would just say. So the fact that they're even like if you were like pick them out of like a suspect line, like from their background information, the only like selling point would be that they're from like Chechnya and they're like not from around here. Like there's nothing in their personality that you would think they would want to harm hundreds of people.
And it's scary to think that because they are so normal and not out of the ordinary, that could be anyone right now. Like,
yeah, that's the creepy part. Cause like I want to find, like what you said, I want to find out what their motive was for this. Why all of a sudden they just clicked and went to this like psychotic mode.
Yeah.
You got any take on it, Robert?
Well, yeah, I don't know. It is really scary to think that, because I was actually, I was on my Yahoo homepage this morning. I'm going to check my email. And they had the two pictures of the guys, like the two brothers side by side. And I believe I didn't really click on the story, but I'm assuming it was the younger one. He looked, he literally looked like the most normal, like, pretty tan kid. He had nice, like, long hair and everything. He was smiling. Like, it's just like...
The normal one looks kind of white, actually.
Yeah.
No.
Like, it's so...
Racism.
It's not... He doesn't look like he would be from Chechnya. He looks like a normal Boston college kid that's walking around.
I didn't know you were taking it that way.
That's what we're trying to get at.
I didn't know you were taking it that way.
Like, people are like, oh, they're Muslim, racist. But, like, they don't... The Muslims are not just Arabs, first of all.
People are assholes.
The religion of Islam is probably like one of the most peaceful religions of probably all of them. If I were to say like what's like what religion has like the most impact on history, it's definitely Christianity. Like not being like racist about that or anything.
I don't think that would be racist either way. I think that's religiousist.
Like,
oh yeah.
I feel like the fact.
Yeah, that's one thing that I really don't like about...
These jihadists happen to be Muslim, which is what stinks for the religion itself, because they get such a bad rap, but it's such a peaceful religion, and they have like no motive to like harm people. And by the way, these guys were Muslim. They were from Chechnya, Russia, and they adopted Islam as their religion.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually really, really interesting. Because one of my like most influential people, like historical figures that I find like incredibly interesting is Malcolm X. Yeah. And it was actually really interesting because I didn't really know a lot about him before I did a lot of research on him last year. And he converted to Islam, and he was strictly, as like bad a rap as Malcolm X sometimes gets, he was strictly for peace and kind of Muslim, to at least what I know of Muslim to be, and for those of you that don't know, I'm a Christian, Roman Catholic, and it's weird to me because Muslim is kind of like a religion that came off as kind of like a humanitarian religion. It's like it looks to seek the good in everyone and everything, and to find like that one purpose for each person. Weird.
Huh. I did a great a report on Malcolm X as well in 3rd grade, except I don't remember anything about him, and I remember the only reason I did it was because I thought his name sounded like a boxer's name.
That's great.
Wait, how did Ben just join twice? What just happened? Anybody else see that? Is Ben in here? Ben? Did we?
Yo, I'm here.
We have you like in the call twice.
I know, it's weird. It said I was kicked out because of like connection stuff, but let's just go ahead and keep going where we were before. Yep.
I can't see your picture. Your picture's
it doesn't matter.
Your picture's gone forever. Now you're just a black screen.
Doesn't matter. Let's go.
Yeah.
So what was Robert discussing before I was kicked due to connection errors?
Actually, I jumped in and I was talking about how I did a report on Malcolm X, except I don't remember anything about him, and I just remember picking him because I thought his name was a cool boxer name, even though he wasn't a boxer. Like I like heard that like my teacher was like, she
Muhammad
said,
Ali. talking
No,
about?
no, but, like Muhammad Ali was one of the other people that we were allowed to report on, but someone already picked him, and I knew he was a boxer, and I thought Malcolm X sounded like a boxer, so I picked him. Except I was so wrong. He is not a boxer.
Yeah.
I do remember he got shot a lot though, like when he died.
Yeah.
He got like murdered.
Yeah, he got really murdered hardcore.
It was either 13 shots or 26 shots. I can't remember exactly. Something like that.
Yeah, and yeah, okay. Let's not talk about the past. Let's talk about the present. It's a pretty brutal thing that happened in Boston there, but I'm glad that.
And I just love how like the entire nation has just come together from this, because I feel like in regards to, okay, we were pretty young when September 11th happened. I believe we were all in like kindergarten, but
yeah,
I feel like the nation has just come like. I feel like September 11th, it was more of a shock to us that it had happened, and so there wasn't a lot of this support. There's the support that occurred for September 11th happened a little bit like ways after it. With like Boston, as soon as it happened, the entire nation just comes together and they're like, we're gonna get these sons of bitches. And I saw a really funny meme with like it was an American eagle on the top. It was like fuck with us on Monday, dead by Friday. It was really funny.
That's awesome. Yeah,
there's.
I feel like the situations are a little bit different though, and that's why we reacted differently. Because I feel like in September 11th it was a lot scarier.
Mm-hmm. And the cool thing about it was like how just like how the entire nation came together. It wasn't just like the people like all the support. I don't know if you guys watch a lot of sports, but the sports world came together a lot, and it was actually really cool because a lot of the Boston teams were affected by this, and so like the Red Sox. At Red Sox games, they play the song "Sweet Caroline" every single game, and so at all these ballparks, like yesterday, all around the league, they would play the song. They would play "Sweet Caroline" in like remembrance for them. And last night, I went to a hockey game, and they did the river dance with "Shipping Up to Boston," which is really cool.
Yeah, it's really nice that we're coming together in a time like this. Really makes the situation a lot easier to control. But
and I think Obama handled it really well too.
It sounds weird saying this, but it really was. It was smooth handling it.
It was really smooth because there's no reason for now to like invade Chechnya because we have no idea. First of all, we don't know like if someone like sponsored them or if someone hired them. For all we know, North Korea could have done this, but that's like some like liberal thing to say and very far out there, so we're just gonna drop that for now.
But you know what? If that's the case,
if that's the case, they're getting squashed.
Yeah,
like,
they're gonna get a big old foot in their face.
They're gonna have to do more research because even if like the kid says like, oh, Kim Jong Un, you know, we met in a bar one night. He was, like,
the mention of his name, our nukes would just start flying. If he just so much as says anything, there would be no questions asked. Just hit the button. That'd be ridiculous, though.
Like the scary part about it was like during like the search for this man, they found 7 other IEDs like lying in like homes around town. So he wasn't just planning to blow up the Boston Marathon.
Yeah, wait, wasn't he trying to blow up? Like they were setting up for more.
Yeah, there were multiple places, and they predicted that he was gonna do stuff at the Boston Logan Airport too, and other sports venues. Like, you guys know Fenway Park, where the Red Sox play. During the after it occurred, they sweep that ballpark like 7 times per day, every single day, to make sure nothing had been planted there, because it's one of the historical figures of Boston besides the Marathon. Patriot Day, and the fact that it came on the Marathon Day and the Patriot Day is huge too, because that's like a big part of Boston history. And I know like the Chicago Marathon isn't as big, but the Boston Marathon is like, it's really big for their city because it also occurs on Patriot Day, which is like a holiday for them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I totally get you. Do we want to switch topics now? We've been on this for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead.
Is Rob still here? I haven't heard him talk.
No, yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. I didn't know if we lost you to connection, but so now we have Injustice is next on the list, the game. So I guess I can start off that.
I don't really know much about that except for the fact that I've watched you play it.
Yeah.
And that it's Mortal Kombat, like, with the storyline, better storyline.
No, that's the thing. It has a worse storyline.
Oh, it does?
The Mortal Kombat storyline is fantastic. I actually really enjoyed that game. Storyline and all. This one, Injustice, the fighting is really cool. It's like the areas that you fight in, or so Mortal Kombat, it's like nothing moves in the background except I think on a couple of match levels, maybe some stuff will move.
It is an older game, so you got to give it that credit.
Well, I'm talking about the new one though, the 09 version of it.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's older than now.
Yeah, okay, I see where you're going there. But all right, so the background is very stationary in that, but in Injustice, also I believe that they're both made by the same people. Side note, but in Injustice, the background moves a lot. It is far from stationary. There are things blowing up behind you. It's constantly changing. You can kick the opponent to multiple different areas, which I think you could have done in one Mortal Kombat. I believe you could do that. I can't remember which one though. And the levels are a lot bigger, and it's, even though it is not rated M and there's no blood or anything, it is still very brutal. Like I would say in some cases it's more brutal than the actual Mortal Kombat, just because of how over the top the fights are with superheroes. Yeah. And I mean, the premise of the game itself is really cool. Like, you can be any superhero, like any popular superhero you can really think of, except like in that universe, like the DC universe, like Superman, Batman. I'm not talking about like Spider-Man or any of them. But did you just add in effects? Are you going to be shooting some?
I don't know.
Are you going to be using some effects? Don't be interrupting me with any clapping. But
okay.
I mean, I just say it's a really cool game. Just superheroes playing as any villain that you want in the DC universe, and also it's a good game to play with friends. It's very friendly to friends. So if you're hanging out with a bunch of guys, you want to set up a little Okay, you know what? Set up a little tournament and make your own bracket or something. That's a good thing to do on a Friday if you're really bored. And Rob,
who's your favorite character?
Oh, my favorite character. Wow. Favorite character to play as in the game? Probably the Green Arrow or the water guy. I can't remember. Oh, Aquaman. That's his name.
Aquaman.
Yeah.
Man, Aquaman's a bitch.
Honestly, before this game, I did think he was a bitch, but I don't know. He's proving to be pretty awesome. Rob, you have the version for the iPhone. You said you want to say something about that?
Yeah, that's actually it's actually pretty neat. I mean, it's kind of repetitive in one essence because, I mean, there's really only one button to attack, but there's different combos and
there's only one button? They didn't make it like a... How do you do that with only one button?
Well, no, I mean, because you can only tap the screen, you know what I mean? And the different speeds at which you tap it actually create different combos that you can execute. Based on like sliding it across in different directions.
Okay.
But one thing that they did in the iPhone version that they didn't do in the Xbox is that instead of just one super move, each character has 3 super moves that they can choose to execute.
Oh.
And each consecutive one, if you choose to save up like enough energy, is obviously more powerful and cooler to watch. But yeah, my favorite character so far in the iPhone version is the Flash, because he's just... Actually, probably Flash and Deathstroke are probably easily tied for me.
Flash is really cool. I want them to make a Flash movie. I think that'd be awesome.
I think it would be like watching the Kenyans at the Olympics. It really wouldn't be that interesting.
Be probably as bad as Green Lantern. And that was awful.
Okay, the Green Lantern is a
Yeah.
joke of a movie. That movie should have never existed.
The thing with Flash is, I'm pretty sure if I've ever seen Flash in a TV show, it was in the Justice League. He's not like us. I feel like unless you're a hardcore Comic-Con comic guy that reads his comics, the average person just knows him as this guy from the Justice League. Like with Batman, a large amount of people know Batman's villains, where he's from, and they know the successful movies been made about him. Superman 2, and Wonder Woman even, but the Flash, I feel like he's more of a supporting superhero that he wouldn't be able to have his own movie about, which is where I think the Green Lantern failed in, because not only a lot of people read about the Green Lantern, I feel like, and Ryan Reynolds should not be taken seriously as an actor.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, but I don't know. I just thought it would be a cool idea, but I feel like that goes for a lot of the DC characters. There's a lot of them that go unnoticed by the like Marvel. Everyone knows every Marvel hero. Spider-Man, the Hulk, Iron Man, and then for the DC team, there's only 3 that are very well known. I thought it'd be a cool idea, but anything else that you guys want to talk about on Injustice or superheroes?
Not really much. I don't really play the game a lot.
I would love to be able to turn fucking invisible. That would be awesome.
I could think of a lot of fun things I could do if I was invisible. I also can think of a lot of cool things I'd be able to do. Actually, you know what? I got asked this question the other day. I got a choice between shooting lasers out of my hands, but I'd have to wait a minute and a half to shoot again, and you can only shoot once. Or you can teleport wherever you want, but you don't know what's going on there. And the reason that matters is if you teleport there and there's a person that you accidentally teleport into, they explode and it's on you.
Okay.
What do you guys think? What are you guys thinking? Which one?
I'd teleport.
That's what I said too.
Teleport.
I said fuck the other person.
Because I mean, for all I know, I could teleport inside Kate Upton, and that'd be pretty sweet for a millisecond until she was all over me, and then I'd probably cry.
And dead. Yeah.
Yeah, teleporting isn't very fun.
So-
it isn't a good power in the end, I guess.
So enough of Injustice. What we got next?
Blood Dragon. You said you wanted that. Your
Okay,
time to shine.
so if you guys, everyone knows about the game Far Cry 3. It is a open island adventure / first person shooter / badass game awesomeness. And the creators of Far Cry 3 are making a DLC of sorts for the game that, one, has nothing to do with Far Cry 3's storyline whatsoever. It has no multiplayer, and a lot of it is different. It's called Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, and it has nothing to do with Skyrim either, so get that out of your head.
No, wait, hang on.
the
I actually have a
game-
question. When you said no multiplayer,
Yeah.
are you talking no co-op or no online against each other?
It is strictly a single-player campaign.
Okay, continue.
Okay, so the game, they said, the creators of it said, is around 8 to 9 hours of the main story gameplay, which does not include open world adventure and side quests, which I think for a DLC is pretty damn awesome. Because, one, they're giving you the map itself, they said, is about the size of the large island in Far Cry 3, the original game. So it's a very large area. And the terrain of it is quite different. It has the style of an 80s superhero cyborg game. I don't really know how to explain it, except that you play this 80s superhero cyborg with a mechanical arm, half human, half cyborg, and you go to this island to, I believe, encounter this robot army that is there. And when you're there, it's pretty much the island of Far Cry 3, except a lot of it is mechanical, and so are the animals too. So instead of your like regular panther, they have robot panthers, and they have these the cassowars, which are the gigantic birds from Far Cry, are now even bigger, and they're these like robot birds. I believe the guy said they have robot sharks too that are swimming in the water, and they have everything except for bears. And he said because bears are fucking awful, is what he said in his own words. And it's just really cool. And if you're wondering what the blood dragon thing is, pretty much the bases where the guys are in, the soldiers, are they pretty much have these bases, and they have shields over the bases to guard them from these blood dragons, which are pretty much the Komodo dragons from Far Cry 3. If you don't know what a Komodo dragon is, it's a very large, harmful lizard, and it is probably around 50 feet now. They enlarged it to the point where it's like a gigantic like T-Rex dinosaur thing, and there are many of them on the island. You have to like help take them down with the soldiers. And I mean, overall, it's they said it's $15, and what I like about it the most is you don't have to have Far Cry 3 to own it, which was like a done deal for me because I didn't buy Far Cry 3. I have only played it at friends' houses. I'm too cheap to get it myself, but I had a lot of fun playing it, and it's around 9 hours of gameplay. It's $15 in the store, which I believe, Dano, is that around like 1,300 Microsoft points?
Something weird like that. I don't even know the conversion.
Hold on, it's a little over 1,000. So if you buy one of those like 1,600 ones, you're probably in the clear. So anyway, as I was saying, it's pretty cheap for a large DLC. Like Skyrim DLCs are around like $20, I believe, and sort of Call of Duty ones, and those rip you off with how much they're worth. But this one, I believe that they strictly made this game. Yes, profits involved, but I feel like they had fun making it because they put so much into it. The one thing that they don't have is the customized guns, so you can't like customize camos in the guns. The only thing you can customize are the attachments, which I'm fine with for DLC.
Yeah, I can get past that real fast, honestly.
And the character development just looks awesome because it's like your character and this like just evil guy. And if you guys want to look up the video, you should look up Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon interview. In the first video, I believe you click on, and it's them interviewing one of the main project managers of the company that makes Far Cry. And it's just a really like interesting game of itself. And if you are all wondering, it comes out into the Xbox Live and PS3, whatever the PS3 marketplace is called, but the Xbox Live marketplace on May 1st of 2013, which is coming up pretty soon. So that is a game that I recommend to you all listening that you should all buy. Any other comments on it?
Well, you showed me the gameplay of it, and I couldn't help but notice how colorful it was. It was actually funny because when they... Yeah, it's like really like 80s, like futuristic, the style of it. Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of how BioShock Infinite, the whole layout of that game was like 40s, like stereotypical like advertisements and all like the architecture and everything. So it's really cool how they like go back to the 80s, and it's like the stereotypical like what would it look like in the future if you lived in the 80s, what you think it would look like, hover cars and shit. And it's just a really colorful and neon game.
I was gonna say the
really
game
cool
is.
When I was watching
there's
it.
a lot of neon, a lot of it. And it made it what you compared it to? I can't remember what you compared it to. Borderlands. You said it looks like Borderlands 2 kind of, and I agree with you.
It looks a lot like Borderlands, which is also an amazing game.
Yeah, I like how you excuse me. It looks and plays exactly like Far Cry, but it's its own game, which I didn't really understand how that works. I'm kind of thinking that it's going to be a really big download because if it has the same mechanics as Far Cry, how does that all work? I don't really know. I'm not educated in that area.
I think it'll work out. And what I love most about it is the passion that the guy spoke of about the game when he was being interviewed about it. Because it didn't seem like they're like, oh, we're just going to put this game out there, money, 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 blah, blah, blah. He was so passionate about it, and the creators just seemed like they had such a fun time making it, which is what I love about games.
Oh, shit.
Because they're not selling you guys short on this game. This thing looks really cool. And what's was actually really funny was when they released the trailer on April 1st, and it started out as an April Fool's joke, and they were like, and they made it, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's fake," and like a week later, like, actually, it's real, and it comes out May 1st.
That's awesome.
Which is really funny.
Yeah, that's actually awesome. That was
because people did not believe that they were making a new Far Cry. Like, oh, Far Cry, Blood Dragon. Oh, it's like future April Fools. Wait, it's actually real. So yeah, the game's been it's been pretty under the radar, and you'd have to like look up like IGN and Machinima to like find it out. And, like,
yeah, it took you like 5 minutes to find anything on it. You were searching around quite a bit.
Yeah.
I wonder why do you think they're keeping it so under the radar?
I feel like it just hasn't gotten. I feel like because they told it as like a joke in the first place.
Yeah, that probably wasn't very smart on their part.
I mean, I don't really think they care because they probably have enough money from Far Cry 3.
Yeah.
But I feel like once the game gets out there and people start playing it and they spread it like how I spread it to you.
Well, once it hits the marketplace, it looks so good. I would argue that it's probably going to be like number one in the store.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's going to get number one in the store for a good time.
Like that. Oh, it just looks. I'm so excited for it. But I feel like Robert's being so quiet right now, and that's because he's watching the trailer. I'm gonna guess.
No, I'm escaping hard right now.
All right, not watching the trailer. You should though. It looks really good. I don't know. Did you play Far Cry 3 ever, or what?
I have not played a single one of the Far Cries, actually.
Well, don't waste your time on the second one, because that was the one I haven't played the first one, but I played the second one, and it was the shittiest game I think I've ever played in my life. Far Cry 3 was probably the biggest step up from any game. Because, like, Far Cry 2 was so dreadfully bad.
It was... Far Cry 3 was legit.
Yeah, it was good.
It just gave you so much.
And you felt awesome playing it. You felt like a badass. But, because you start out so weak and innocent, and when you see the... I mean, spoiler alert, it's in the first 5 minutes of the game. When you see your brother shoot someone, you're like, oh, shit. And you start freaking out, and then by the end of the game... You've killed, like, thousands of people, and it's like, yeah, no big deal. I'm a killer. But, I don't know. I just thought it was an awesome game, and I felt so awesome playing it. I can't remember. What else did I feel awesome playing? Tomb Raider. That was good. I felt really awesome playing Tomb Raider. Should we switch topics now? I got a good topic for the next topic.
Yep.
How about the Zombieland TV show?
I actually just saw that, and... I'm not sure yet about it because they released a trailer and it's a bunch of like no-name actors, and on the one side that could be like a make or break because they're no-name actors, and I feel like with Zombieland what was so awesome about it was Woody Harrelson and wasn't it Mila Kunis and
Mila Kunis? No, I don't think she was in it.
Was it? It was either her or who's the other chick that was in Easy A?
I'm not sure. Wait, hang on. You know what? Keep talking. I'm gonna look it up right now. Get the names for you.
Okay. Anyway, she was in Easy A, and she was also in Crazy Stupid Love.
Emma Stone was in it. I couldn't remember if it was her or not.
I always get Emma Stone and Mila Kunis mixed up. I have no idea why.
Yeah, they don't look anything alike.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I get them mixed up, but it was Emma Stone. It was Emma Stone and the guy who plays Mark Zuckerberg in The Social Network. I forgot his name too. He hasn't been in a lot of movies recently.
They made a shit ton of money from the Social Network movie.
Great movie. But anyway, I'm just not sure about it because it looks like it's pretty much what you would want to see in The Walking Dead. Because what made The Walking Dead so great the first season was the fact that there was so much fighting against zombies, and now it's all politics, and I'm like, like watching it. Season 2 I thought was just god-awful. I thought it was completely overrated. And then Season 3 I'm like, okay, there's more fighting, but there's still all this like bitching around, just like, oh, I'm going to take your land. No, I'm going to take your land.
Yeah, very childish.
He's a crazy man that kills people, but I'm gonna still sleep with him. Like, get real. Like with Zombieland, which just makes it so fun, and it's just how they joke around about killing zombies.
I feel like if there actually was a zombie apocalypse, it'd be a lot like Zombieland.
It'd be like that. It'd be a lot more like Zombieland. I mean, there's aspects to Walking Dead that I would believe, which is like the whole like factions where like you create like your group and you survive on your own. You like can't really like trust other people, but Zombieland just makes it fun to watch, and it's just a funny. It would be like I feel like it'd be a funny show to watch. But the other thing with the actors is sometimes it's good to have no-name actors because then they become big from that show, and that's how like their careers get started. So you really have no idea.
Are they no-name? Like, have they been in anything else?
I don't know any of them, so they're no-name to me.
All right.
So I have no idea who any of them are. I saw a trailer and I was like, I don't know him, I don't know her, I don't know her, I don't know him.
I feel like I've seen them in something before. I'm actually gonna get on that. But I actually just looked it up. I looked up the Zombieland movie itself, and I just realized that the actor that plays the little girl in the movie, she is also.
Who is she?
Well, that's what I was getting to. If any of you guys have read the book The Ender's Game, she is playing Valentine in the movie, which is coming out November 1st, and I didn't even make the connection.
They're making a movie for Ender's Game?
Right, and I've been watching this for a very long time now.
Wait.
And
is there a trailer?
There's no trailer yet, but there's a lot of pictures, and they actually they have a pretty good cast, too.
Valentine's like his fucked up sister, right? Like it's like really weird sister.
I mean,
like she was like really weird.
I would say she was really weird, but
wasn't she like emotionless in the book?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, they all were. They were all super.
She was grown up. She was like grown up for her age.
Yeah, they all were. But I never actually took the time to look at the cast. I've just been kind of watching the movie and making sure that it doesn't get scrapped again, because they've literally talked about making this movie so many times.
I feel like I liked the book and I didn't like the book.
I loved it.
There were moments I thought the first 3/4 of the book were awesome, where he would go to like the academy. If you haven't read it, this doesn't really make much sense, and so I'm not going to explain it because I don't want to like spoil anything. But when he goes to the academy, he's getting picked on and shit. I was like into that, reading that, and I felt really bad for him. But then, as he started becoming like more recognized, and the ending kind of just like took me off guard, and I was like, "Really? That's how you chose to end it? Like you couldn't like?"
Yeah, no.
Couldn't make it any more
thing.
interesting.
Like, you know, I got mad at the ending, but then I realized I didn't see that coming at all. Like, there was no way to predict.
I don't think
the ending.
anyone reading the book would see it.
Like,
there is no way to predict the ending. Like there's no way you would ever predict that.
And in that sense, I liked it. Like the ending itself, I hated, but the fact that I couldn't. I know
there are other books too.
Yeah, I haven't read the other ones, but I wanted to go back to the actors of it real quick because I just realized Harrison Ford's in it. They got Harrison Ford.
Is he gonna play like the old
he's
like the old guy who saved the world before? Talking about like the.
No.
So anyway,
I don't think so.
If no one knows what the book is about, I'm going to give you a quick basis over it. So it's the future, and the world has been under attack from aliens called buggers, and they have been attacked once before, and they have defeated them. But now, in order to prepare for an oncoming second battle in the near future, the world needs to gather soldiers. So they gather up kids and they train them into these soldiers, and they bring them to this training facility in space, and the whole thing's about this little kid named Ender, who's very mature for his age, and he's picked on a lot at school, and he retaliates a lot from he gets bullied a lot, and so this kid, not only is he bullied, but he's this super smart kid, and the academy just has this great interest in him, and it's pretty much I'm not going to spoil anything, but he pretty much goes to the academy and. A lot of cool stuff happens in it.
He fucks shit
Pretty
up.
much they're just preparing their army to fight the future.
The person who plays the guy, Mazer Rackham, he's the guy that saves the world.
That's the guy I'm thinking of, Mazer.
Yeah. He's played by Ben Kingsley, who was in Prince of Persia and... Shoot, what else is he in? Shutter Island. That's what else he's in.
Who's he playing Shutter Island?
I'm pretty sure... Didn't he play the Doctor?
Is he...
I thought he played.
If that's him, that's a good guy. He's scary.
Yeah.
He scares me. He was really good in Shutter Island, like the.
And then Harrison
Nazi
Ford
doctor.
is playing Colonel Graff. I'm pretty sure that's the guy that recruits Ender in the beginning and stays with him throughout the book.
Colonel Graff. I know Colonel Graff.
But yeah, so pretty good cast, and because the cast is so good, that leads me to believe that the movie is not going to be canceled this time around, which is totally awesome.
Oh no, with Oscar actors like that and nominated actors like that, I think at this point you can't cancel that movie. Because at that point you've promised a lot of contracts and a lot of money, and you're going to get that shit done.
And because we are in a very advanced technology world right now, compared to just 10 years ago, I think that the movie has a lot more possibilities and can actually be done this time around, and it's not just an idea. So, really excited. Is that all? What were we just talking? How did we get into that?
We were talking about
Zombieland. We were talking about Zombieland.
Zombieland.
All right. Well, that topic died fast.
I mean, I just don't. They haven't even really released what channel it's going to be on.
I don't know if it's going to be on a channel. Didn't it say it was going to be on Amazon or something?
If it's on Amazon, then I'm not watching it because I'm not going to pay money to watch Amazon TV.
Yeah.
Like, I already have Netflix, so I'm super excited for Arrested Development to come out.
Yeah. Wait. When does that come out?
May 27th. Arrested Development season 4 on Netflix.
Ah, show's so great. I'm on season
everyone
2 right
back.
now.
I've finished it and been waiting for a long time for this to happen.
I'm trying to get through it.
I have no idea why that show would fail. Like,
I don't think it was that it failed, because I've heard nothing but good things about it. I think it's because the actors in the show went on to bigger and better things.
That's what I'm thinking. Because if people don't know, the actors include Jason Bateman, who's Ellen DeGeneres, who plays the daughter, like Ellen DeGeneres' girlfriend, Portia de Rossi. There's Will Arnett, Michael Cera.
Michael Cera's been in some good movies.
If anyone watches the show Archer, the woman that plays Archer's mom is in the show.
That's what else she's from.
Yeah. She plays Archer's mom. Also a great show. I love Archer.
I recognized her voice, and they're oddly the similarities between how the character looks, but
they're pretty similar.
I think they did it on purpose, actually.
Really, you think so? Okay, I'm kidding. So other actors include Tony Hale, who he is in the show Veep. If anyone watches that's on HBO. David Cross, everyone knows that. He's the guy from. Is he? He's from that movie with crap. What's his name?
What's his name? No.
Big Fat Liar. He's in Big Fat Liar, right?
Big Fat
Where he
Liar.
turns blue. You know the movie Big Fat Liar with Frankie Muniz?
They look alike, but I think you're mixing them up.
I'm gonna look up Big Fat Liar.
Yeah, do that. I think you're mixing them up with someone else.
Oh, I'm mixing them up with Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
They look really similar. But yeah, David Cross is in the show.
And the show is really funny. It's a little bit outrageous, but it is.
Jeffrey Tambor also.
It is a very.
It's just
funny
so I love it. And the best part is Ron Howard narrates every single episode.
Didn't even realize that.
You know who Ron Howard is?
Yes. Yes, I do.
And there's just a lot of funny stuff in it. Like there's just such a huge fan base.
You know what? Speaking of people who narrate the episodes, I had no idea, but someone told me the other day that Bob Saget narrates How I Met Your Mother. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like that.
I do not. I don't watch How I Met Your Mother a lot.
Okay, well, there's like at the beginning of each episode when he's telling, it's like a future version of him telling the past story.
Yeah, I know that. Where he's
that's Bob
he's like
Saget.
telling his kids.
I had no idea, but that is Bob Saget.
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, I thought it was really funny. I like Bob Saget.
That's true.
He was
I
in
didn't
Full
know that.
House. Right? That was him, right? Yeah, that was him. Great show. Sad it ended.
So, question.
Yes. Answer.
Did Robert die?
I don't know where Robert is.
I'm still here.
You have not said anything for 25 minutes.
I've been absorbing the information.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll let that lie there. You can feel free to jump in at any time if you have any questions.
Yo, Holden.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Question.
Answer.
You are causing a little bit of lag in like your voice. Is it possibly because of where you are in your house?
Possibly.
Like every once in a while when you talk, your voice like goes out, or like it sounds like you're being like DDoSed or something.
That
Like, you
could be
obviously
because.
aren't.
Does it sound better now?
It's for like a second there. It like where are you right now?
I'm in a very bad connection
In your
spot,
room.
actually, but it's because no one can get into this room, and that's why I'm in here.
Okay. If you want to sit there, that's fine.
I don't think it'd be affecting anything in the video. Just if you need me to repeat anything, obviously I will.
Sounds good.
We'll just have to work with. Next time I'll find
So-
somewhere else to sit. It's actually really
How long
freaking
are
cold
we
in
into?
here.
How long are we into this?
We are 46 minutes in. Do you want to just go one more
Okay, so what
topic and
else
end
we-
it? Because I actually am running short on time.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, last topic
else
is
do we have?
well, we only have one more actually, but Scary Movie 5 and how big of a fucking flop it was. Anything?
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I guess I will. All right. You guys aren't avid Scary Movie watchers, but I've heard
not.
nothing but bad things about this movie. I really liked the first 3. 4 was shitty it was kind of funny, I guess, at some parts. But I didn't even waste my time seeing this movie. The trailer just looked like shit from the beginning. And it was essentially a copy of another funny movie that came out before it. It's called A Haunted House, which made fun of Paranormal Activity. And Scary Movie 5, to my understanding, also makes fun of Paranormal Activity. So that was kind of stupid on their part. You know, obviously, I believe the 2 movies should have worked that out. And Scary Movie 5 should have chose something else so that it wasn't repetitive in theaters. But apparently, A Haunted House was actually really good and really funny, according to reviews on Metacritic and whatnot. But from my friends who have seen Scary Movie 5, I didn't even bother looking at Metacritic because it got like 1s. So I thought it'd be stupid to even go through it. I just, from the score. But friends that have seen it said it just wasn't the same as the other ones. I think 1 out of the 5 people I asked that saw it said it was actually funny. So that's what 20%.
I just don't like going to those movies or watching them. I feel like they're like a huge waste.
Well,
of
with
time.
movie ticket costs these days,
Yeah.
it's not worth it to spend that much money on a movie that's like an hour and 20 minutes long. And that's how long the movie was. It was like an hour and 20 minutes. Can you believe that?
Wow. And they got a lot of big time actors for that too.
Not even, like, maybe old big-time actors, like,
Lindsay Lohan, Charlie Sheen. You're still paying them a lot because it's Charlie Sheen.
winning, so. And he is winning. After that movie, he made quite a bit of money, I bet.
I mean, I feel like those movies are like what you see when you're like in like 5th grade and like going into middle school.
Yeah, definitely childish comedy.
It's that kind of comedy. I just don't laugh. Like I thought, epic movie. At the time it came out, I thought that was really funny.
Is
And
that
then
the
as
one
I
with
grew up-
the Chipmunks, Alvin Chipmunks in it?
Yeah, I think so.
That was the funniest part of that movie. That was so
and then
fucked up.
as I grew up, they made a superhero movie, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, what is this garbage? Like,
Superhero movie, you
I
said
s-
that too?
yes, I did not like that movie. I thought that was stupid.
That's with Drake Bell, right?
Yep.
That is probably my favorite one out of all those movies.
Ugh, like Date Movie.
Date Movie
and Scary Movie 5. I mean, they just aren't funny.
Yeah, I would agree with you, but I actually thought
Well,
Superhero movie was the funniest one out of all of them. The old Scary
I-
movies, Scary Movie 1 and 2 and 3, I thought those were not necessarily childish humor. Though they took that more. I don't even know. I just thought it
feel
was
like-
funnier, and I still think it's funny.
I feel like in terms of humor and how the humor, like the funny movies I go to are ones that are like have to do with like getting fucked up or like drinking and shit, like The Hangover or Project X.
Did you
or
see the
one I
trailer
just-
for Hangover Part 3?
Yeah, it was really funny.
I cannot believe they're going back to Vegas. You know,
Nah, it'll be better. I guarantee it'll be better than the second one.
I didn't want to call money whoring, but I don't even know.
I mean, I feel like the second one they have to close it out the series because the movies have grossed a ton of money.
Yeah, no, without a doubt.
and they have to just like be like a farewell to their fans. Like, we're never doing this again. I feel like this again, so we're just gonna go out with a bang.
I honestly I thought the second one was still super funny.
It was,
even though
it was very funny.
even though it was like a copy of the first. I mean, it was a copy of the first one.
The monkey, he middleman. Oh,
Yeah, no,
That's
God,
each
that
out.
movie was really funny, even despite the bad reviews and all. So, but I mean, I didn't really know what to think of the third one. The trailer, when I saw they were going back to Vegas, I was like, yeah, you know, maybe it'd be funny.
did you ever see Project X?
Never saw it. You talked about it a lot to me. You told me all about it. I feel like I've seen the movie already, but I haven't.
You haven't? Oh, you have got to see that movie.
So you've told me.
It is like one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
So
Like,
what
I
was
just-
that movie with the guy that turned 21? It just came out. He's Asian.
I saw that too. It's called 21. That was
okay,
also
yeah.
that was also extremely funny.
I wanted to see that. So I guess I'll see that
It's
in
all about-
Project X. I'll see if I can find them on HBO
Yeah.
or something. I don't know.
And the guy from Project X is actually in 21. He's one of the main characters. In Project X, he actually plays a pretty minor role. He just
Are you
plays
sure it's
this, like,
called 21?
I believe so.
Isn't there something else after the 21? I'm gonna look this up because
Let
I
me
actually,
look
I
that
actually
up.
saw a movie called 21, and it was not that movie.
21 Jump Street.
No, it's just called 21. I'm pretty. Isn't it? Yeah, 21 was about the counting cards.
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh, you're thinking. What you're talking about is 21 and over.
21 and over. That's what it is.
Okay. Yeah, I want to see that. But yeah, 21.
Yeah.
The actual 21 is about counting cards. That was a really good movie, actually. Really cool.
That was pretty good. But 21 and over was really funny.
I can imagine.
But yeah, the guy Miles Teller, the main actor, he is in Project X, and he is in like he has a pretty minor role in it.
Didn't someone try to like recreate Project X for real?
Yeah, there have been multiple people that try to do that, which I think is really
Dangerous.
funny. This guy, he made like a Facebook group and he invited all his friends because his house was open for the weekend, and the police saw it on Facebook and like put him in like a drunk tank, and like locked down his house so that no one would come.
Wow.
And there was one in California that actually did happen. 2 kids died.
Holy shit! Seriously?
Yeah, bad alcohol poisoning. So yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yikes.
But even though that, the movie was pretty awesome.
Okay.
Like, yes, it's awful that happened, but the movie was still kick-ass. It's such a funny movie.
I don't know why I just
has a
thought
really
about
good
it, but
Has a really good soundtrack too.
I think Rob just left.
It looks like he did.
Oh well.
I guess he's going antisocial today.
Yeah, he didn't talk a whole bunch. That's kind of sad, but whatever.
Yeah, but anyway, in terms of humor, as I get older, I feel like when I watch comedians, the jokes either have to be like vulgar or really creative, and like for example, Aziz Ansari, his jokes, they're creative, but they're also like vulgar and really funny, and that's why I like him. Like Dan Cook, I listen to Dan Cook and I'm like, you're not a funny guy. You're just like, you're pretty much what Dan Cook is. Dan Cook tells really like weird stories. Oh, he's joining back in. Dan Cook, he tells like these stories that are just long, and okay. So I stop saying like a fucking retard. He tells stories that are simple, but makes them really long. Like one of his comic sketches I remember was about how this atheist sneezes on him, and he says, "God bless you," and the atheist is like, "Oh, I'm an atheist," and then he gets into this talk with him about what happens when you die, and then he makes a joke like, "Oh, I hope when that guy dies, he turns into a tree like he says," and then a big axe man chops down, he gets the Bible printed on him, and I'm like, and to make that one funny part of the joke, which I thought was pretty funny still, took like 10 minutes to tell a really pointless story, and that's pretty much all of Dan Cook's humor. Same with like Gabriel Iglesias. I mean, a lot of people find him funny. I just don't find his humor funny. He just makes like racist comments and just like he makes noises and sound effects. Like Jeff Dunham too with his puppets. Like funny comedy for me now it consists of like Aziz Ansari, who uses like vulgar language, Louis C.K., who is just a mastermind.
I love Louis C.K.
So funny. Jim Gaffigan too, and what I love about Jim Gaffigan is that he doesn't use any like vulgar things. He talks about like food and like what white men do, which is just really funny.
All right, new goal for the show: get popular, then get Louis C.K. on this. That's what we need. I
would just love to talk with Louis.
I really want to talk to Louis.
His show is so funny, and his comedy is funny. If anyone out there has a subscription to HBO, his new special came out. Makes some really funny jokes on it. And one of them was like about like road rage, where like in real life, outside, like inside of a car, some pretty vulgar stuff comes out of your mouth. And I liked that he brought this up because it happens to me all the time. He talked about how he was like, well, he was driving in New York and this woman like cuts him off and he goes, "Fucking piece of shit." And he's like, "Whoa, wait. What the hell just came out of my mouth?" Like in real life.
Yeah, I do find myself just randomly getting really out of the ordinary angry when I'm driving.
He made this joke like if you're in an elevator and you're right in there and someone like nudges you, you're not gonna turn to their face and be like, "You fucking cocksucker." you're not gonna do that. You're just gonna like ignore it happened. And I found that really funny.
It must be the sitting inside of a giant metal box factor.
Yeah. Like the other day, I was turning left on a street, and this light turns yellow, and then turns red. So I'm out in the middle of the street, and I'm turning left and going over, and this woman just comes through the red light, goes right to the intersection. I'm like, "You fucking bitch!" It's so loud, and I turn to my brother. I'm like, "Oh, sorry, I said that." I sound like this like hateful person, which just
you're not very hateful.
You're
really not.
No.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. I found that was probably one of the funniest parts of that sketch, of that stand-up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, like stand-up like that is what makes me laugh. Like when it's like smart, when it's like smart funny, or if it's like Aziz Ansari, they like make fun of things that happen to, like the everyday person.
I like how you categorize that. It's either smart funny or you're Aziz.
Yeah.
That was good.
No, we were just talking about atheism there, Pfeffer, with like comedy.
Yeah.
And I just I found this quote by a man by the name of Richard Lederer, and it says, "There once was a time when all people believed in God and the church ruled. This time was called the Dark Ages."
That's funny.
Really funny.
That's funny. Yeah, I just don't like Dan Cook was funny when you were like in like elementary school. But now he's just really dumb. And he like steals jokes too from people.
Those bastards.
I remember he's just not funny anymore.
Alright.
That's pretty much it.
Well, I'm out of topics.
So am I.
Wait. There's one thing I'm trying to find. I can't find it for the life of me.
What are you trying to find? Actually,
this is really.
There was this
really cool.
There was this really funny thing, as you all know from the last show. I look at BuzzFeed a lot, and there was a really funny thing about all these memes for like the guy being captured. Okay, so I'm gonna go through them. So the first one on the article is a meme of the American Eagle, and it says "America, hide and seek champions." Then the other one is a picture of the bomber, and it's the picture of the You guys remember the guy that was like, "Hide your kids, hide your wife"?
Yeah.
It's that guy, and he's like, "We found you, homeboy." The other one is of this really fat white guy with like a T-shirt on, holding a shotgun American flag, and it says "Wrong neighborhood, motherfucker."
God. All right.
The other one is the kid's face over Andy Samberg's face, and he's on a boat, and it's like, "Oh my God, I'm on a boat."
All right. Is that where we want to end it?
No, hold on.
There's one with like a kid, and he's like, "So you're telling me you tried to escape in a boat on land?" It's just really funny stuff. Oh, and the guy's name, isn't his name like a Joker, right?
Something like that.
It's spelled DZHOKHAR, and it sounds like Joker, and so there are a lot of memes like they're using Photoshop and like coloring over his face like the Joker. And there's a meme with like the Joker's face, and it's like 31 people die in Iraq, and that's just part of the plan. But kill 2 people in Boston, and everybody loses their minds.
Oh my God.
And they're making Grand Theft Auto jokes about like the Boston police, and it's just like a bunch of funny stuff. Like there's one that's like keep wicked calm and carry the hell on. Keep wicked calm and say hi to your mother for me. All Boston stuff. There's like one where it's like, "Boston, fuck with us and we'll shut the whole city down and hunt you." Number of days to get Bin Laden, 3,519. Number of days to get the Ternasov brothers, 4 days. Welcome to Boston, asshole.
That's good.
It's just
that was a funny one, actually. I like that.
There's other one where it's like it's like a picture, a freeze from like the news, and on the bottom it says "Suspects 2 in Marathon is in custody," and it's this black police officer staring at the camera with his arms crossed, and the meme has like "You're welcome, motherfucker" under it. So that's just some of the funny stuff that people have been posting. And the thing with this is the internet had a lot to do with this, if you guys didn't know.
You mean the catching?
Because not just the catching, but identifying them in the first place as the prime suspects.
Didn't they get found from?
So what happened was going back to this whole thing before we end the show. The Boston guys, they had suspected who they were. Like they picked these 2 brothers out of like, because they were like around the area at the time, and they're the ones that had like purchased the pressure cookers. And so the FBI released their photos of like the photos not of the people themselves because they had no idea who they were, but some photos of them at the scene of the crime, and they only had like a couple, and so they released them to the internet, and they're like, "These are the 2 suspects we have for now." And pretty much all over Twitter, people are going through the different pictures of the marathon and picking them out. What actually happened was this guy for the Boston Herald took a picture of the marathon as people are finishing before the explosion even happened. And this guy on the internet tweets back at him like, "Hey, in the top left corner of your picture, I can see the guy with the backwards white baseball cap." And it was actually the clearest picture the FBI had, and it was all because of this one guy on Twitter who had pointed it out. And so they were able to identify him clearer, and they were able to identify his face because the previous pictures of him, they were like too fuzzy and they weren't very good quality. Because of this guy on Twitter, they were able to see it, which is just shows you an advantage that social media has. Because like back in September 11th, they didn't have, I believe Facebook didn't even exist. Facebook was launched in like 2004, and Twitter shortly after that. And so they didn't have these media sites, these websites to help them out in searching for these guys like in the airport and finding out how they were able to get on the plane and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
No, that would have been
So
you just made me think of the something really funny, like if what would those people on the 9/11 planes be tweeting to their families? They'd be like hashtag about to die, like
hashtag jihad.
Oh my God.
It's just bad. Like,
all right. Well,
and like for the conspiracy people about this, I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me?
I really
Like-
hate to be the guy that has to cut this off, but I really have to go now. Robert, did you find what you were looking for?
Yeah, I did, but
I have like a minute and a half.
we'll save it for another time.
All right, bookmark it. Great show, guys. Once again, anyone who's still watching, I'm sure no one is, but every Sunday, I'll put it in the description again. This has been The Pups, number 2. Goodbye.